Chef Duffy, Chef Curtis, I should say, the inspiration for the bear, which is just really fascinating. I'm wondering, I'd love to hear just your fresh, honest take on the bear. What did they do right, and what did they do wrong?
Wow, you're putting me in the hot seat after all those nominees today. Like, really? They broke a record today. What's that?
No spoilers.
No spoilers. Okay, I can tell you there's going to be no spoilers because I haven't really seen it.
Have you not watched it?
Oh, okay. So, they came to us a few years ago, and they were really interested. Actually, I had met them years ago when they dined at one of my other restaurants called Grace, and they had dined in the room, and we had met briefly. No idea that the bear was ever a thing. It wasn't even out then, of course. Fast forward, somebody had said to me, "Oh, the bear, have you seen it?" And I said, "No, it's not something I want to watch when I go home. I'm braced in this every day of my life."
Not very relaxing, is it?
Yeah, no, it's like, oh, I gotta go home and be stressed out, you know, because they said, "Well, your restaurant's in there." And I'm like, "No, it's not. It's not in there. How could it possibly be in there?" So I went back and I watched, and I got to the second episode of the first season, and of course, there's my restaurant, and I'm like, I start to cringe. I'm like, man, I miss that kitchen. Well, fast forward, I ended up watching the whole season, fast forward, and you know, they gave us a call and said, "Hey, we would really like to continue this season or this episode, this journey of creating the bear, but we want to do part of it in your restaurant. Would you be open to do that?" So I said, "Absolutely. We're going to send a team of people to come and scout your restaurant and kind of see what is there." So they showed up with like 25 people. And I've been scouted before, and usually it's like a team of like 2 or 3. So when 25 showed up, I really knew it was okay, this is a real thing. So before anybody said yes to agreements, I had to go home and watch the whole episodes just to know what I was getting into. You know, I finished watching a few of them, and then I had to watch the whole thing. But they've done, I can tell you from what I've watched and from what people have told me they've seen, it's probably the closest to reality in our lives. They really hit it. There's a lot of exaggeration.
What do you think they hit? Because I think for those of us who watched it, I have an idea of what you're going to say, but I'm wondering what you think they got right.
They got so many things right. They over-exaggerate a few things, of course, and that's natural, it's TV. But it is the core of what we do. And you know, it's not like it's not so aggressive in a way, like every restaurant is like that. It's certainly not like that. Because they have those moments also where it showcases a restaurant, like my restaurant, that is super quiet and polished and refined, and the attention to detail and the daily grit and determination of every one of those chefs in there. They hit that as well. But they also hit on the other spectrum of craziness where stuff's coming out of the fryer, everybody's screaming and yelling, and the chef is freaking out and slamming stuff and throwing stuff away. It's all real. It just, what restaurant are you in?
Yes, the intensity.
Yeah, absolutely.
I find it, I enjoy watching the show, but I find that I feel so anxious after it.
Yeah, live that life, for sure.
So anxious, I can't sleep.
But they do a phenomenal job. I'm super proud of that show.
Yeah. You know, do you feel like they missed anything? Did they miss any representation of the industry?
I don't think so. I haven't gotten through all the episodes yet, but no, it hits the personal side of who we are. It hits obviously the professional side of being in the restaurants. It hits a lot of relationships that are built within the four walls of a restaurant that are very strong and almost more powerful than actual family, because you're spending more.
You feel that.
You feel it. You can feel it because maybe I can feel it more because I've been in that life for so long, but I'm sure a lot of people outside can feel that connection that these people spend 18 hours a day with one another. How can you not have that connection?
Yeah, and the level of importance that, my background started as a waitress in the hospitality industry, and I have such a love, or true love for the hospitality industry. That's just why I created the show, to dine for around restaurants. But, unless you've worked in those environments and cared, just simply cared, because, really that is the magic ingredient to, I think, hospitality, when you truly care, whether you're front of the house or the back of the house. But if you have a real heart for it and really care about the product and the experience that the visitor, the diner, is going to have, then you're on your way.
Absolutely.
And they captured that very well in the show.
They did, yeah. One of my favorite memories is when, this has nothing to do with the bear, but what you're saying is, like, when we were able to take off the masks from COVID and we were able to actually embrace guests back into our restaurant, those memories and those pictures on those people's faces
yes.
will always be ingrained in my memory because of how excited they were to be a part of just being able to go back outside and eat. And, we embrace that, and it's something, our culture, we do every day. It's like we have to make sure that everybody that walks in these front doors feel that way.
Mm-hmm.